Buenas. Welcome back to the channel for those of you who are old heads, and welcome for those of you who are just joining me. My name is Shawnie, and I am on a quest to lose weight, among other things. I'm trying to do things differently than I've ever done before. So this is Shawnie Interrupted. So first up, let's talk about the progress that I've made, and then we're going to get into making some breakfast for tomorrow. I'm going to be making some pumpkin bread. It's called Down East pumpkin bread, and it is the best recipe. I'll actually share the recipe with you in a second. It's actually an all, oh, I lost it. I have to get it back in a minute. It's an all recipes recipe called Down East pumpkin bread. The only thing that I do differently is add pecans to it because I like nuts in my bread. And we'll get into that in a minute. So let's talk about how we did this week. Not so great, to be honest with you. I struggled a little bit this week because I didn't go to work for a couple of days, and this weekend I didn't do anything. So literally there were 2 days where I just didn't move. Didn't feel like it, didn't want to, didn't do it. And so I did lose weight. I lost I think 0.4 ounces. So I think I'm like at a pound for the whole month, which is not great, but I did reach the 20-pound mark. So since we started on January 1st, I've lost 20 pounds, and I am extremely proud of myself for that. But there's still work to do, and I got to get back on to doing what I need to, the movement, the whole thing. So I didn't lose a lot of weight, but I know what's wrong. Partially, this work thing is just getting to me. I am realizing that I am such a caretaker by nature and by profession that I sometimes forget to put my mask on first before helping others. You know, like the plane says, before you put your mask on, before you assist anybody else, make sure you put your mask on first. And I have been doing everything for everyone else and then putting myself last. So while I've continued to meet my calorie goals, I'm staying under my calorie allotment for the day. Every day I haven't gone over, I'm not moving. And so the calorie count that I have is for somebody who is somewhat active and not sedentary. And so for the better part of this week, I've just been sedentary because I'm tired, I'm burned out, and I am just I was just phoning it in for myself, but giving all I could for everybody else. And I know I'm not the only one in that boat. So I have just decided this week I am really going to focus on me, Shawnie, first, and making sure that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but taking care of me first and foremost. If there's something left in the tank, then by all means, give it to other people, but I'm giving to them before I'm even taking care of myself. The blessing is that I have been meal planning, like I said, and prepping. So I'm able to come home and still make something for myself, or eat what I've made already for myself so that I could stay within my calories. But that's all I was doing, was just staying within my caloric allotment for the day and not doing anything else. So we're getting back to doing what we do best. I'm going to do some meal prep again and meal planning, but I'm also going to make sure I'm focusing on me and getting in my steps and taking care of what I need to do, getting on that elliptical. Whatever it takes, that's what I'm doing, because I still got 10 pounds to lose. Well, 9 more to go, essentially, for this month. And I'm going to get there. But if I don't get all the way there, I'm not going to give up and say, well, it's no point. I'm not going to make it to the full 10. I'm going to try my darndest with the last, 20 days that I have of this month to do the best that I can to get there. So hopefully you'll join me along the journey, and we're going to go ahead and get into this Down East pumpkin bread. This is going to be for breakfast. It actually makes 2 loaves, so I can actually put one in the freezer and have some for the next time. I'm also going to make some chicken shawarma, and that's a quick and easy thing from Trader Joe's that I'll show you and share with you. And that's going to be some lunches and dinners. I'm going to do some tacos, some turkey tacos, and those are pretty quick and simple. And that's going to be, again, lunch or dinner, because I can interchange the lunch and the dinner items that I'm making to keep satisfied. So let's get to it, huh? Okay, so this is the Down East Maine pumpkin bread recipe. I actually have it tagged on Pinterest, so you can find it there. but it is an all recipes recipe. So if you have an account in all recipes, do this. I actually found it someplace else before and it was amazing. And so that's what I was sticking to. But this is the ingredients right here. And this is the directions if you're gonna follow along. So if you want to make this, then you'll have everything that you need. The only thing that I'm doing differently with this recipe is I'm adding pecans. And here is the caloric values. Okay, so let's get started. Alexa, pause the music. Okay, I've got all of the dry ingredients. It's the the flour, the nutmeg, the cinnamon, the baking soda, the salt, the ginger, and the ground cloves mixed here. The next thing I'm going to do is do all the wet ingredients together with the sugar to kind of cream it. And then we will put it all together and bake it, and it'll be our breakfast for the next little bit. It smells divine in here. So be right back. Just hold tight. Okay, Alexa, pause the music. All right, so we are at the point where all of the wet ingredients, that would be, well, and the sugar. So the eggs, the water, the pumpkin puree, the oil, and the sugar. And we are going to blend this until well blended. And then we're going to be ready to add this to the other mix. So, all right, that step's done. So moving on to step 4, which is we're going to stir the dry ingredients into the pumpkin mixture. We're going to add the pumpkin mixture into the dry ingredients. And we're going to do that just until it's blended. I'm going to start this on low and add it slow. I always keep pumpkin on hand because this is actually one of those recipes that I tend to have most of everything that I need to make it. So without even a thought, if I don't know what else, this is my go-to. The only thing that I truly have trouble keeping on hand is the ground cloves. But since I've started making this, I just make sure I always have some. And I buy it from Sprouts where I can get it on at bulk cost, so I don't need a lot. This recipe only calls for half a teaspoon of that. So it's not hard to just get enough for a couple of recipes. All right, let me keep mixing. I should have used the KitchenAid, but I didn't want to. Not for this, it doesn't require it. That feels pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and clean off the sides just to make sure all of it got incorporated. Looks good, looks good. Check the bottom. Make sure. Looks good, looks good. Now the only thing that I didn't add to this is my pecans. This is purely optional, and it actually wasn't included into the calories that you saw, the 230 calories. Did not include the pecans because this is something I add. It just, to me, makes it taste better. So I add actually a cup of pecans, and I will actually show you guys at the end how much calories per serving of bread once I'm all done. So I'm actually not going to turn the mixer on again for this. I'm actually just going to fold it in, but first, let me get my beaters off. How many times did your mom let you lick these things knowing salmonella is real? I don't know. I just think that's why we're made of tough stuff this generation, because you know, we survived a lot. All right, so I'm just gonna fold these in. Well, stir them in and fold. I'm gonna stir and fold. How about that? Just so you can see the dots. That's it. Okay. And that is the gist of it. Now, you're supposed to already have floured and greased your pans. I got this from Trader Joe's. It is a coconut oil spray when I was just there. So this is gonna be my first time using it. But I tend to not actually flour my pans when I bake. If I spray them down really good, that tends to do well. Now I say that, and because I'm trying to do this for the tube, it's gonna not work the way I want it to, and it's gonna stick, but it usually does not stick. These are non-stick baking pans, but I'm going to divide them equally into each one. All right, that's that for that girl. And we may come back and add some to her in a minute. Everybody's got to get a share first. Here we go. All right. Yeah, so you don't want to fill them all the way to the top, just kind of 2/3 of the way full. All right. Will be plenty. Because they will get big and gorgeous. Okay. And because we are going to give these a good shake. To kind of even them out. I like a bang on the counter. Releases those bubbles. This one is a little bit bigger, I think. Let me wash my hands because I got a little sticky. And because I just think I made a bigger mess. Okay. We're gonna put them in to a 350-degree oven. And let them do its thing. And we'll be back when those are ready. Okay, here is the bread out of the oven. They got a tiny bit browner than they normally get, but I just touched them in the center and there's still a little bit of crumbs, so I know they're not dry. When I cut into it, I will let you see what that looks like, probably in tomorrow's video when I'm eating breakfast. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to cook are these chicken shawarma thighs. They are a Trader Joe's brand. If you have a Trader Joe's close by, go ahead and get it. It's already pre-seasoned. I tend to not eat chicken thighs, but I saw somebody on YouTube actually make these, and it looks really good. So I'm going to pair them with pita bread, some tzatziki, a little bit of hummus and cucumber, and maybe some tomatoes and red onions. And I'll show you what that looks like tomorrow when I'm ready to eat it. But this is pretty quick and simple. I'm just going to pop it in the oven and bake it for about 20 minutes. And then we will see the results tomorrow. Okay, we're going to just do a quick recap of everything. So the pumpkin bread is done. little browner on the top than I normally would like, but it was barely not wet in the center, so I know it's still pretty moist. And the shawarma is in the oven for the chicken shawarma. I'm gonna make it a pita sandwich out of that, which I will share with you guys tomorrow. You won't see the video until Wednesday, but I'm gonna continue on with the meal prep. I just didn't want to make this video too long. And then I'm gonna do some turkey tacos as well. And I may actually eat those on jicama wraps. I bought some jicama wraps at Trader Joe's as well. So that is gonna be pretty much the week. But I did want to recap. So this week I am just gonna concentrate on me and getting back to doing the things that I know are good for me, as opposed to making sure everybody else is okay. I need to get moving again, like just moving, walking, doing whatever regularly, but also get on that elliptical to make sure that I'm going to meet my goal. I've been a lot busier today because I don't know, I just had an epiphany. Like I can't sit around and waiting for things to happen or people to accommodate me trying to take care of me. I just have to make sure I'm getting it done. I think we get into the rut of, making sure everybody else is good, and then if we have a little left over for ourselves, no. I'm trying to make sure that I'm good so that I can make sure that everybody else is good, because everybody else is not making sure that I'm good. They're making sure that they're good. And I'm not going to change who I am, but I am going to change how I am taking care of me and putting me first. I know that a lot of us have the same issue that we need to get a hold of. It is not an excuse as to why I didn't lose more than 0.4 pounds. But it is one of those things where I recognize that I wasn't doing anything except for eating right. Like I was staying under my calories that were allotted to me, but I wasn't doing any of the other thing. Even my mind wasn't right. I would come home exhausted and didn't want to do anything but watch something on TV. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to make sure that I keep that focus and that goal, and I'm running towards it as opposed to maybe, waiting for it to come closer to me. I'm moving forward towards it. And so while we are protecting our sanities and protecting ourselves from ourselves, essentially, and getting out of doing what's good for us, I also hope that we are protecting our needs and protecting our peace. Have a great week, and let's get it. I will see you on Wednesday with some more meal prep and, I don't know, something else.